Hello everyone, my name is Edward, and this is going to be What Would I Love to Know, my first year of college part 2. I do want to thank everyone who watched my first video, part 1, and who gave me thumbs up and who got subscribed. If you missed it, please go back in my channel and click on it. I do want to start sharing that one thing that we want to talk about this video today is that you don't have to take classes every day. In high school, you're used to taking classes Monday to Friday. In college, you could take classes twice a week or 3 times a week, and you don't have to take them back to back. You can spread them out throughout the day. I encourage everyone to take advantage about this because if you go classes twice a week, that means you have 3 other days from the week where you can start being participating clubs, start doing an internship, and try to study those days that you don't go to class. And next is that make sure you take breaks between your classes. Don't put them back to back. If you want to put them back to back, make sure one of the classes is you have a long break where there's time for you to have breakfast or time to have lunch or time to have dinner. Because once you start going to college, and especially you live far away from your home, you forget to eat. You forget to eat, and sometimes when it's time to eat, you just grab a bunch of food and put it into your mouth, and it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. You feel rushed. You don't enjoy your food when you're eating it. So make sure you take advantage of that. Make sure you spread your classes out. And like I said, take advantage of having classes twice a week or 3 times a week. You don't have to have classes every single day. Also, make sure you have a mental health day. It is really important because when you get to college and it's your first year, there's a lot of information coming up, and you want to make sure that you have a day where you can rest up and just process everything that has been going on, and you can do something that releases your stress. For instance, for me, one thing I did in college my freshman year is play soccer, play soccer, play soccer, play soccer. But you also have to know your limits. I did the mistake where I did it too much. So make sure you also find the perfect balance for a mental health day. Make sure that it's one day of the week or 1 hour of the day, whatever works best for you, but make sure you do have a mental health day. My next topic is going to be about budgeting. Budgeting is super important, especially if you're getting financial aid. I never was a good person with my money, so I didn't budget my first semester pretty well. I actually spent my whole money for a first semester within like 2 months, and after those 2 months, it was really difficult to make sure I got food, snacks, and I was able to pay for my utilities. So make sure that you know how to budget. And if you don't know how to budget, please ask for help. Ask any family members, friends, teachers, your old high school teachers, your old counselor. Talking about counselor, make sure the first year you go to college, you meet up with a counselor. Meet up with a counselor to plan your next semester. And also, when you meet with a counselor, tell them how your classes are going. Make sure that if these classes are really difficult or they're pretty easy, and if this is something that can be put into your major. Sometimes when you're doing your GE, it also can double up with your major. Let's say, for example, you want to become in the business department, right? If you take economics, it goes to your GE, and it also goes to your lower division for your major. Now, let's talk about don't buy school supplies that you don't need. So your teacher is gonna give you a syllabus, and he or she might give it to you a few days before or in a week in advance. Don't panic. You read the syllabus and it tells you this is the materials that we need. Make sure you take your time. Make sure that you go to the class, or if you're really anxious of if you need them or not, email your professor. It tells you in the syllabus the email, their office hours. So make sure you email them, because you sometimes have a week or two to actually get all the school supplies. A lot of professors, at least during my freshman year, they put a lot of books that we were going to need. We don't even need half of those books. So make sure that when you go to your classes, I encourage you to wait until you go into those classes so you can actually see if you're going to need them or not. A lot of professors they make their own book, and they try to sell you that book. So that's why they put it into the syllabus. A lot of things that you can also do is go to the library. Usually, if the professor is needing you to read that book or to get that book, they reserve it into the library. So what I did my first semester and a couple semesters, I didn't have any money to buy the book. So what I ended up doing, I went to the library, I had my phone, and I took pictures. And if you couldn't take pictures, you can also make photocopy of them. You can copy them and take those home, or take it wherever you're sleeping at the dorms, and just study. That's a good way where you can save money. Another thing is that you don't have to buy the book from the bookstore. You don't have to buy the book from the bookstore. There's websites that you can go, and there's also sometimes there's flyers outside the door, the class, and it's pretty much students who have that class before, and they're trying to sell their book. It might have their notes, and that also can be helpful because then you know what the professor is focusing on, and you can just study those notes and also have your own notes to create. Another thing that you have to focus on the first year of college and in school is pretty fun. Find a buddy. Find a buddy that in each class where if you have exchange information, if you don't want to get them their number, contact their email. Email. And the reason why I say that is because let's say you miss class. Let's say something you couldn't do and you need to miss class because you had to go work or an emergency come out. Make sure you have at least that one friend that you can contact to share their notes. Because yes, you are going to be able to message the professor and get the notes from the professor, but it is so different from a student perspective of getting their notes. So that is something that I encourage you, that make sure you find at least one friend in each class and exchange information where you guys can share notes in case one of you guys miss class. And that reminds me as well, make sure to find a study group for each class. Try to see if you're really struggling in that class, talk to the professor or talk to that friend or someone in class where you can do some study groups and actually break it down so you can study for the exams, quizzes, or any pop quizzes that can come up. One thing that I will always tell you, remind yourself why you're in college. Remind yourself why you decided to come to college. My reason is because I wanted to have a better life. I wanted to learn, have my own business, and just make sure that I get out from the neighborhood that I came from. For watching this video, I encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. Push yourself. Don't give up. There's gonna be times that you just want to give up, that you think this is not for you. And I'm telling you right now, keep pushing. Keep pushing. Don't stop. When you're feeling to give up, keep pushing. When you're feeling that you can't do it no more, keep pushing. It's gonna pay off. Don't give up. That is my advice today as well. Don't give up. Keep fighting. Keep fighting for what you love. Remind yourself why you're here. Thank you everyone for watching. And my next video is gonna be actually about my life.